Good afternoon and welcome to Africa Today. I am Ainan Lubem. First, let's talk the headlines. On the headlines, reps warn EFCC against selling assets to looters. 5 people killed in Mali attack. Away from the West African scene, Mozambique takes seat at UN Security Council. While on sports news, Tunisia gets the nod to host African qualifier. And now the news in detail. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the deployment of advanced surveillance technology to address insecurity and crime in Imo State and other southeastern states. Governor of the state, Hope Uzodinma, disclosed this to State House correspondents after a closed-door meeting with the president at the presidential villa, Abuja, on Tuesday.
Only 2 weeks ago, Igbos that came home from Lagos and outside Southeast enjoyed the benefits of the second Niger Bridge, something that is worthy of commendation. I also thank him and then appealed to him for a further support to support us with some technological deployment we have planned to be able to do an advanced kind of security control in the Southeast. And he has also given his approval to that. And any moment from now, we will be getting some surveillance equipments and some modern technologies that will help us manage security so that we can fight crime with little or no collateral damage to the environment.
The governor also noted that he was on a thank you visit to the president for previous requests he had granted, including the conversion of the Federal Medical Center Owerri to a university teaching hospital for the Federal University of Technology and the conversion of the Alvan Ikoku College of Education to a Federal College of Education. House of Representatives had ad hoc committee on assessment and status of all recovered loot, movable and immovable assets from 2002 to 2020 by agencies of the federal government of Nigeria for effective, efficient management and utilization, has urged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, that is EFCC, to prevent looters from recovering their loot in the ongoing auction of seized and forfeited assets. The committee's chairman, Adejoro Adeogun, while noting that his panel had earlier recommended speedy disposal of recovered loot, especially fixed assets, expressed the possibility of looters recovering the forfeited assets by proxy. Adeogun, however, stated that the committee would continue with its investigation despite the sales. The FCC had on December 6, 2022 commenced inspection and auction of 649 forfeited vehicles located across 9 states and the Federal Capital Territories through appointed auctioneers. Other assets listed for auction were 15 vessels and barges in Rivers, Delta and Lagos states, about 39 mobile phones, 11 laptops and other devices. Members of the committee had initially opposed the auction of the assets at the center of the probe. No fewer than 6.7 million Nigerians have yet to collect their permanent voter cards, that is the PVCs, less than 8 weeks to the general elections. Data obtained from the state offices of the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC, on Tuesday revealed that 6.7 million PVCs were locked up in INEC safes across 17 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The INEC National Commissioner for Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, disclosed this in a statement that with effect from January 6 to 15, 2023, the collection of the PVCs would be devolved to the ward level, after which collection would be moved to the local government areas. The INEC Director of Voter Education, Lagos State, Adenike Tadeshi, told newsmen that about 14,000 people collected their voter cards daily, noted that the commission would soon take the PVC distributions to the wards. The INEC had announced that collection window for PVCs will commence December 12, 2022 and end January 22, 2022. 3 days after a couple, Kehinde and Bukola Fatinoye, were killed, the corpse of their son, Oreoluwa Fatinoye, has been recovered from the Ogun River. The couple, yet to be identified hoodlums in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, on New Year's Day, shortly after they returned from the 2023 crossovers church service. The assailants then burnt their corpses in a house located within the Ibara government reservation area in Abeokuta.
What you have this me and government, anybody, let us go to root of this, the cause of this problem.
They are complete, gentle family. They are silent donor. They are full of respect. In the church, you cannot know if they are in the church. And they have touched a lot of life, not in the church alone, all over.
Just this morning, the son of the couple who was taken away and thrown into the river, his body has been recovered in Ogun River. Investigation has commenced. The homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation Department, they are on it, and as we are progressing, we will continue briefing members of the public on the outcome of our investigation.
Speaking on the discovery, a fisherman, Idowu Taiwo, said he discovered the body while preparing for the day's work. The State Police Public Relations Officer Abimbola Oyeyemi said investigation was ongoing to unravel the mystery behind the death of the Fatinoyes. Kehinde reportedly worked with the Central Bank of Nigeria, while his wife, Bukola, worked with the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. When we return, news from other parts of West Africa. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now to news from other parts of West Africa. The authorities in Mali, the Bamako island in southeast Mali, about 80 kilometers from the capital, Bamako. The victims comprised 3 civilians and 2 firefighters who were members of a civil defense force. Military ceremonies and burials for the 2 days are due for today. Monday's attack is said to have happened in parts of the country where violence is rare, while the jihadist insurgency rages in the central and northern regions. Police prosecutors in the Gambia have charged 2 civilians and a police officer in connection with last month's alleged coup plot. The 3 men were charged with concealment of treason and conspiracy to commit a felony, which they denied the charges. They were further accused of being informed by the alleged ringleader of a plan to overthrow President Barrow, which they failed to report to the relevant authorities. Last week, the advisor said civilians were involved with their roles being to finance the alleged Ford coup. In December, the government said it had thwarted an attempt to stage a coup and arrested some soldiers. This is the first time the accused people have been taken to court. The military personnel will be taken to a court-martial. We now move to other parts of Africa after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now to other parts of Africa. Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has lifted a 6-year ban by her autocratic predecessor, a move that was cautiously welcomed as a gain for democracy by the main opposition party. Hassan said Tuesday during a meeting with political party representatives that political parties have a right to hold meetings and the government's duty is to give permission and provide security. But she urged politicians 2016 by political strongman John Magufuli at the onset of his first term in office, which was marred by draconian rules. The main opposition party, Chadema, welcomed the development. President Hassan is serving out Magafuli's term after he died in 2021. She has been accused of continuing her predecessor's anti-democratic policies. Mozambique replaced Kenya at the UN Security Council on Tuesday with a promise to prioritize the fight against terrorism. The country will now serve at the council as a non-permanent member for the next 2 years. Mozambique has been battling an Islamist insurgency in its northern Cabo Delgado province for the past 5 years. The conflict has displaced over 1 million people and killed around 400,000 others, according to official data. Comissário said the country would also push for reforms at the Security Council to address African concerns. The Security Council has 5 permanent members: the United States of America, Russia, France, the United Kingdom, and China, and 10 non-permanent members. Ugandan music promoter has been charged with 9 counts of negligence over the death of 10 people in a New Year's Eve stampede at a concert in the capital, Kampala. Abi Muzinguzi appeared before Makindye Chief Magistrate Court on Tuesday evening. He, however, denied the charges and was remanded at Luzira prison. The prosecution alleges he caused a stampede at Freedom City Mall when he closed outlets to the venue, leaving only one gate for more than 20,000 people to exit. The 52-year-old was arrested on Monday. His lawyer claims his client is being targeted because he is a known supporter of the opposition National Unity Platform leader, Robert Kyanguliu, also known as Bobby Wine. Meanwhile, the police have summoned more people, including the owner of the building, to record statements over the deadly incidents. Up next on Africa Today is business news. Stay tuned. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now to business news. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has recovered about 13 billion naira as proceeds of illegal payments made under the subsidy regime between 2017 and 2021. This was based on the National Inherent Risk Assessment of Money Laundering, and approximately 4.67 billion naira was recovered in 2017, 4.29 billion naira in 2018, 2.41 billion naira in 2019, 416.51 million in 2020, and 1.22 billion in 2021. Said in the report that there were several opportunities for fraudulent activities in the oil and gas sector. It also noted that there had been to non-retail outlets, which is a fraudulent practice that leverages on the full subsidy regime. However, experts have warned the federal government that the 4 trillion naira full subsidy bill would adversely affect the country's economy. Ghana and Morocco have become the first African countries to impose travel restrictions on passengers from China until further notice. The Foreign Ministry says the move is aimed at preventing a spike in infections in the country. Ghana's restrictions also imposed restrictions. For example, passengers arriving in England from China now have to provide a negative COVID test before they board a flight. The U.S. is testing people on arrival. Ghana says passengers from China will be tested at the airport